another episode of Journals of Juliet, musings on life inspired by literature. Today, we hope to motivate you to get things done. The things that you've been procrastinating about, maybe they're boring, maybe you just think you don't have time for them now. Let me share with you some tips that I hope will inspire you to get what you need done. This episode is inspired by the Victor Hugo quote, "He who every morning plans the transactions of that day and follows that plan carries a thread that will guide him through the labyrinth of the most busy life." Victor Hugo is was the 19th century French romantic author. You probably know him from Les Miserables. He was the author of Les Miserables and also The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I think that he is, not just what I think, but he is one of the greatest authors of all time. I actually really like this quote for many reasons. I feel like it covers a lot of angles that have to do with this idea of procrastination. And so let me tell you the tips that I have for you based on that quote. The first tip is probably the most obvious one from the quote. Have a plan. Every morning I wake up now and I try to stick to this. I'm not perfect. I sometimes don't stick to it and I just go on with my day, but I regret it later. In the beginning of the day, I call this the self-contract, right? A contract with the self. If that means that self-contract, I don't know. Anyway, just basically having a contract with yourself where you decide at the beginning of each day that these 10 tasks need to be accomplished today. Maybe they're 5, maybe they're 4, maybe there's just 2. But include in those tasks that one task that you've been delaying and postponing and procrastinating about, maybe because you're uninspired, maybe because it's not so much fun, I don't know, but include it anyway. And promise yourself or make this contract with yourself that by the end of the day, that needs to be accomplished. And as you go through your day, just put a tick next to each task as you accomplish it. So of course, making a plan might sound like the easy part. And oh, by the way, do not postpone making the plan because you don't have the prettiest journal, you don't have really cool markers, whatever. If you have a sheet of paper and a pencil or a pen, or if you've got a computer or a phone even, whatever it is, just write that to-do list. All right, so you've made a plan, and now what? What do you do? All right, well, I work very well with incentives. Now, my incentives maybe are not the same as yours, but my incentives are I'm going to watch the next episode of Rain. And so I need to get this done, this thing that I really don't want to do, and I'm going to give myself an incentive, and that incentive is to watch an episode of something that I really want to watch. And so incentives work really well because it's like, listen, Abir, that's me talking to myself, you are not going to do anything else but that task that needs to be done. And when that task's accomplished, you can then watch an episode of Rain. Now, if you don't finish that task, then sorry, no TV for you. Now, some people will tell you, put everything away. Put your phone away, put your computer away, put the TV away, put all this away, no distractions and just focus. Well, fine, I understand it's necessary, but if you ask me, my life without my phone is a very difficult one. So you need to tell me when I'm going to get my phone back, when I'm going to get my computer back, when I'm going to get this communication with the world back. And so what I do for myself to get myself to do a task, if one of the reasons I'm actually procrastinating is because I'm Skyping instead of actually doing the task, is I set a timer for that task. That 1 hour is of me just focusing on my work, all right? Now, one more tip that I have for you is to visualize success. Having completed this task will probably make you feel more at ease, more comfort, because more comfortable, because you know when you're you know that you need to do something and you're sitting there doing something else and there's this voice in your head, I shouldn't be happy with what I'm doing right now. I shouldn't be feeling comfortable. I should be doing something else. Once you've eliminated that something else, visualize that feeling of just being at ease. Just, life is good. I've done it, right? Versus not doing it, but actually suffering a lot more because you think, oh, when I actually get around to doing it, it's going to be horrible completing that task. Well, are you happy now? Sitting there thinking about it and wasting all that time thinking about that task that you should be completing? So visualize how it will feel to actually get that task done. That is one of the best methods ever because whenever I'm stuck and I want to do something and I'm not doing it, I always think, well, once it's done, how will I feel? And usually actually the feeling is a really good one, right? It's a feeling of just a sense of accomplishment. Maybe it's not the most major task, maybe it's something minor, but you've still accomplished it. So getting things done is not just about completing the tasks because you need to, it's also about a sense of sort of a bit of an inner peace that comes with accomplishing the things that you need to accomplish. So I hope today has been useful, and I hope you will watch our next video next Wednesday. If you've got any suggestions about videos or things that you want tips for, or just any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!